Hi, I'm Lee. I'm part of Duke University's DPT program. Yeah, so getting into Duke means a lot to me. Prior to Duke, I was a personal trainer in Los Angeles. I had my own business after working in big box gym and I was pretty limited in what I could do in one day because I was going to clients' homes and I was unable to do a lot of manual work as a personal trainer. And so with a DPT from Duke, I think I will be able to just have a much bigger reach and be able to do so much more for clients and patients. And additionally, a DPT from Duke means so much to me because I think it will really allow me to start my own clinic sooner than later. And so I come from a very entrepreneurial background. My parents they came to the U.S. before I was born, and they had a Chinese takeout restaurant that I worked in as a kid. And so the entrepreneurial bug is a big part of who I am. And so with a DPT degree, I know that, especially from Duke, I know that I can have the tools and resources available to me, along with the support of Rising Tide, to really be able to open my own clinic in an underserved community, much like the one that I grew up in. Yes. So my inspiration for pursuing a career in physical therapy really grew out of necessity, I believe. I had a first career as a project manager and a grant manager, doing healthcare research at large universities and large nonprofits. And while that was very fun, I did feel as though the research I was doing on looking at healthcare disparities and looking at healthcare outcomes, I felt a really big disconnect between that work and my own personal health. For a little over 5 or 6 years, I just really became more and more sedentary, as a lot of the work that I did was more just laptop based and interfacing with individuals through phone calls or Zoom meetings and that thing. And so I felt chained to my desk, if you will. And I decided one day randomly to attend a physical fitness class. It was like a high intensity interval training class at a local YMCA. And a year and a half later, I became an instructor of that class. I was just so inspired by what it did for me. It started this physical fitness journey for myself, and the rest is history. Now I'm able to do powerlifting and run for long distances, and so I do feel that that decision really added years to my life, and so I felt as though I wanted to share that with others, and so I actually quit my full-time job, became a personal trainer, and that was a really big risk for me. And I I over time just built my business as a personal trainer in Los Angeles, and I loved it. And I feel as though physical therapy is a way to continue to do that work, promoting health and promoting wellness to a much larger audience, and working at a outpatient clinic, for instance. Individuals can come to me, and in that regard, I can have much wider reach, and I can do so much more as a PT rather than just a personal trainer. So yeah. Yeah, so I went with Duke because Duke was my number one choice, and they were also the first to accept me. So back in October of a year or two ago. So I was just really, really lucky that things happened so smoothly for me. I got accepted to other state schools and regional programs, but I felt as though I wanted to go to a school that had a wide reach and tons of resources for new grads, and Duke definitely is it. So, but they it's not just about choosing a school that's going to help you prepare for boards and help you learn, but also just having a wide alumni network that will help you as a new clinician. And if you want to build your own business like I do, you would want to definitely take advantage of the Blue Della Network, as well as just other things that they have for you. Oh, I've learned so many lessons in school, but probably the one that sticks out the most for me is just this general idea of acceptance and maybe a little bit of like radical acceptance, if that makes sense. And what that means for me is just acknowledging my reality as it is from a non judgmental perspective rather than really feeding my inner critic and knowing that like I can't change a lot of things, but there are things like I am in control of. And I think the sooner that I come to that reality, the sooner I can really tackle like the mountains of like PowerPoint slide decks that I have to go through, or difficult situations in school I may be dealing with, or interpersonal issues or problems. And so realistically, just evaluating the situation, knowing what I can expect of myself and what I can expect from others, that has been a super, super helpful exercise for me to really get through school. Definitely. I think that PT school is top three, one of the hardest things I've done in my life. And certainly, I feel that as a child of immigrant parents, I feel as though I deal with so much more responsibility than perhaps my peers. And that's just been a theme for me my entire life. And the adjustment of caring for older, aging parents while I'm in PT school is certainly a unique experience. I don't know of any other classmates who are dealing with that. And so it's a lot. And whether or not whoever's listening to this, whether or not you're dealing with that or something else, there's just so many layers of identity to navigate and negotiate when you are a child of an immigrant family. And sometimes that's just so much to handle while you're in an already challenging program. So for me, I have found that my life has at baseline a lot of noise. And so it's important for me to occasionally stop and reflect and prioritize what's really important to me, because when I don't do that, I tend to get really lost in the noise, and I waste a lot of energy not focusing on the things that are really, really important to me. And when I do that, I have so much more energy, and I I know that I'm around a supportive group of individuals who are going to come along with me in my journey and my dreams. And it's through that process of reflection, though, maybe it's 10 minutes in a day, however it's meaningful for you, that process has been helpful in getting through a very demanding program, through all of the ups and downs. And it's taught me that I am just way more capable of so many things, way more than I originally thought. Yeah, I have several areas that I'm really interested in. Originally, I thought I might do ortho, like many students. That's probably what your first exposure was. And the longer I spend in school, the longer I'm just amazed at the wide range of things that PTs can do. And of course, movement encompasses every aspect of our lives. So that makes a lot of sense. And I took an adapted tech class, which is the class that focuses on prosthetics and adaptive equipment for individuals. And I just was so amazed by the stories that I heard, and I would love to work with amputees. I think I'm drawn to this population because it's a mix of ortho and neuro and utilizing my skills growing up in a very chaotic urban environment where I had to like navigate so many different things all at once. I can really harness that energy to help others through most likely a life changing event for them and possibly a traumatic event. Potentially with amputees, they've gone through a motor vehicle accident or other traumatic situations that would result in a limb loss. So I would love to work with amputee populations. Yeah, so at Duke University, we already have several Rising Tide scholars. And so I just learned about it through newsletters and through some of the other scholars about their experiences with Rising Tide. My advice would just to be yourself. And I know that that sounds super cliche, but I really think that Rising Tide is an organization that truly values who you are as a person and to be proud of where you come from, which maybe in your school or your larger society, that's not the case. But this organization really, really cares about who you are. And my advice is to be bold, be generous with yourself, and unequivocally know that you belong and you deserve to be here. And nobody can tell you otherwise. So good luck in the process and hope to see you at one of our events. Yeah, I'm super excited about the mentorship opportunities, not only receiving mentor, but also giving back. I've had the benefit of having amazing mentors in my career and at my time at Duke. That's allowed me to go from a really tiny, small, scared little girl in Elizabeth, New Jersey, working in a Chinese restaurant and just feeling scared. And that little girl is now at Duke University. I have my own home. I had my own business and a first gen college grad. And I feel as though I'm on track to open my own clinic someday. And so that is because of mentors and people who really cared about me and knew what I was going through. And so I hope that other people find that. And I hope I can be a mentor for others. And I'm just excited to see what else is in store for me. And hopefully I can like share those experiences with others and continue to pay it forward.